So the Fallout live action is finally here. Yes, Amazon decided to get on the live action series bandwagon with the release of their live action series adaptation of the hit Bethesda game Fallout. Hello everyone, I am Finn. Welcome back to Finn Films. Join me today as we discuss episode 1 of the Fallout live action and the surprise reveal of the identity of the Vault Boy. So if somehow you're watching this video and don't know what Fallout is a series of post-apocalyptic survival RPG games made by Bethesda Studios, you know, the guys behind Skyrim. The Fallout world takes place somewhere between 1 to 200 years after a great nuclear war that left the entire world a nuclear wasteland. Society was basically completely destroyed, much technology was lost, creatures and people alike became mutated from the radiation, but despite all of this, some people did actually manage to survive the bombs dropping, and their ancestors now roam this nuclear wasteland, some living in cities, others in towns, or some in colonies, while many others roam the wasteland as raiders, preying on those more vulnerable. However, though, there exists another group of survivors in the Fallout universe, the Vault Dwellers, those groups of people who paid a company, Vault-Tec, for access to their massive nuclear survival bunkers. These Vault Dwellers have been living in these vaults, shut off from the outside world for hundreds of years since the bombs dropped, and are unaware of what exactly exists out there in the wasteland. The Fallout live action is an ensemble story, the show following really 3 main characters, each on their own missions, and presumably with all 3 of them eventually coming to cross paths in this series. First, we have our primary protagonist, a dorky, happy-go-lucky vault dweller named Lucy McLean, a young woman who chooses to leave her vault in search of her father after their vault was infiltrated and destroyed, attacked by outside raiders. Our second protagonist is Maximus, a squire of the Brotherhood of Steel, a faction within the Fallout universe whose goal is to find and preserve technology from before the bombs drop in order to ensure a better life for their people. This faction is probably one of the most recognizable in the Fallout universe due to their use of their kind of Halo-esque mech suits called power armor. We learn in episode 1 that Maximus's village was destroyed, presumably by raiders when he was a child, though he was saved by a Brotherhood knight. Since that day, Maximus has been taken in by the Brotherhood, vowing one day to become a knight and wield the power armor to protect and save more people like him. And finally, we come to our third main character, a character who, in my opinion, is probably the best character with the most interesting story in the Fallout series, Cooper Howard, or better known after the bombs fell as the Ghoul. In the Fallout world, many humans were transformed by the radiation into ghouls, these almost zombie-like beings that are able to live well past any normal human lifespan. More often than not, these ghouls are feral, having no more human consciousness and really attacking anything that comes into sight. Some ghouls, however, though, retain their human consciousness and free will, like our character Cooper Howard, aka the Ghoul. Now, I said this in my other Fallout live action video, click the eye above if you want to check that out, but I have a feeling that the best part of this show will really be any scene with Walton Goggins in it, the actor behind the Ghoul, as this man is just an absolutely fabulous actor. If you've seen The Hateful Eight, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you see, I think that there is much more to the Ghoul, to Cooper Howard, the character, than really meets the eye. And I'm pretty sure that in episode 1, Howard was revealed to be the man behind the famous Vault-Tec logo, the Vault Boy. Okay, so episode 1 opens in California, pre-bombs dropping, in this kind of classic Jetsons-esque futuristic version of America in the 1950s. We see that Howard is performing as a cowboy with his daughter at a birthday party for a young child. While inside, some of the parents gather around a TV, warning them about a possible imminent danger, a nuclear imminent danger. Through a conversation with these other adults, with these parents, we learn that Howard was seemingly once famous or well known here in California, as they are surprised to see a man like him working at a birthday party of all things. After his performance, the birthday kid's father asks Howard to take a picture with them and to give his signature thumbs up pose, but Howard declines. Now, not too much more info is given about this pose or why Howard would decline to do this. However, he does tell his daughter that they once taught him to use his thumb as a measure of a bomb's blast. According to Howard, if the bomb's blast is bigger than your thumb when you're looking at it, then well, you're royally fucked. Of course, minutes after he says this to his daughter, the nuclear bombs begin to drop, destroying basically everything and beginning the story of Fallout in this nuclear wasteland as we know it. But you see, at this moment, it kind of hit me. What character within the Fallout universe is known for their classic thumbs up pose? Yeah, that's right. I'm like 90% sure that Howard is the character who would be the inspiration for the Vault-Tec logo of their Vault Boy. You know, that little blonde man in his Vault-Tec jumpsuit giving us a winning smile and a big ol' thumbs up. Now again, I've only watched episode 1 so far at the time of recording this video, so I imagine that the series is gonna go into much greater detail about this. We know from the trailers that Howard, aka the Ghoul, did seemingly once work for Vault-Tec, as we see a promotional video of him basically selling the Vault-Tec services of their vaults, which to me basically confirms that yes, Cooper Howard, the Ghoul, is the Vault Boy, a turn of events that I did not see coming at all when I first sat down to watch this series. After the bombs fall, we are transported 200 years into the future when we are introduced to Lucy McLean, a young, bright, yet somewhat naive vault dweller. In the first segment of the show, we see Lucy is approved to marry someone from another vault. Vault 32 to be specific, as this makes sense as one of the biggest problems for the vault-dwelling communities is, well, inbreeding, as there's really only so many people within the vault, something that the showrunners have fun with making fun of.
I have been unable to find a suitable marriage partner, at least one I'm not related to.
So these two vaults make arrangements, Lucy gets married, there's a big celebration, but quickly you realize that things are not at all how they seem, as some of these folks from Vault 32 are, well, a little sus. Suddenly everything goes to shit as the people from Vault 32 reveal themselves to be raiders from the wasteland from the outside worlds that have disguised themselves as vault dwellers, as they begin to ruthlessly kill the people of Vault 33. Eventually they end up looting most of the vault and taking Lucy's father, the Overseer, with them. Lucy then decides to leave the vault to set out on her own in the wasteland to find and save her father. Meanwhile, we learn from Maximus's story that a member of the Enclave has escaped with technology that could potentially cause great ruin to the Brotherhood of Steel, the Enclave being a faction within the Fallout world that is the remnant of the American deep state and claims to be the direct continuation of the United States government. Maximus is then sent with the knight that he serves on a mission to find and capture this man. Meanwhile, we are reintroduced to Cooper Howard's character, who is now known as the Ghoul, a mutated gunslinger and bounty hunter feared by many, who we know has been alive since the bombs fell. We see that he is approached by a group of bounty hunters to work with them to hunt down this escaped Enclave member, as it could be the biggest score of their lives. The Ghoul, though, refuses their offer, killing all of them easily and then setting out on his own, presumably to claim this bounty for himself. Now, I'm an honest man, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Episode 1 of the Fallout live action was, well, pretty fucking great. From the set design to the props to the music, it all really came together, in my opinion, to really accurately capture the essence of the Fallout world so well. To me, this is like one of the most important things that you need to do to have a somewhat successful live action adaptation, whether it's a live action adaptation of a video game or an anime. You need to be able to capture this kind of same feeling and sense of essence of the world that you are adapting, or it's just not even gonna work at all. I think the music might have been one of the most important things to get right for this show, as any Fallout fan will tell you that the music of Fallout is like probably one of the most iconic things about the video game series, as Fallout uses a host of music from the 1950s to further kind of capture this almost like Jetsons futuristic 1950s feel of the world. And the fact that a game like Fallout single-handedly made a generation of kids my age to come in love and have respect for 1950s music is like actually amazing to me. I never really had too many doubts that the Fallout series would be able to capture this kind of like feeling of the world of Fallout in a live action form. I mean, they have a massive Amazon budget as well as a pretty crack team of directors and producers. As well, they have like lead members of the Bethesda team literally working on the show, like our main man Todd. So it was always pretty confident that they were going to be able to like nail this part of the live action. What I wasn't so sure about, what I was curious about, was how they would approach the actual story of the series, as the story is arguably the most important part of any show, but especially a show based off of an RPG like Fallout, which is known for its compelling stories, its very fleshed out world, and diverse set of characters that inhabit said world. So far, so good though, I have to say, for the Fallout live action. I really enjoyed episode 1 of this show. It is really violent though, but I guess that is just kind of comes with the territory. This is Fallout after all, and I think it did a really good job in setting the stage for the rest of the story, as I fully expect a ton of twists and turns and major plot reveals that will most likely affect the Fallout lore as a whole, specifically the story of Cooper Howard and really his relation to Vault-Tec and his potential identity as the Vault Boy. I do have to say though, one of my really main concerns for the Fallout live action is if the story is going to continue to live up to the standards throughout the entirety of the season. I talked about this in my other Fallout video, but the first 3 episodes of the series are directed by Jonathan Nolan, you know, the least famous of the 2 Nolan brothers. Nolan, like I said, is only directing the first 3 episodes, so episodes 4 to 8 all have different directors as well. They actually all have different writers as well for each of these episodes. So part of me really worries that this show might like fall off dramatically after episode 3, but I'm really just gonna have to wait and see until I actually watch these episodes to really know if this will be the case. Again though, so far so good for the Fallout live action. Episode 1 in a vacuum was a lot of fun. I thought it was great. It's absolutely crazy to me how many live actions that we're getting over the last few years and how popular and mainstream the live action adaptation has become, as we've really come a long way since like the trash tier live actions of the mid 2000s. I mean, who can forget Dragon Ball Evolution, the Death Note Netflix live action, or like M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender? They were all freaking hot garbage. So I think I can safely say that at the very least, the Fallout live action is going to be better than all of those. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of episode 1 of the Fallout live action? Do you think that my theory is correct, that Cooper Howard is the man behind the Vault Boy? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always guys, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as your engagement on this video helps to put the video into the algorithm and is the easiest way to help support me and keep this channel alive. If you did enjoy this video, then why don't you check out one of our many other videos about live action series on screen now. And as always guys, I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there, drink your water, hug your mother. Until next time, peace, love, Adu.